Yeah, we back, baby. We back. We in this building like it ain't. The doors ain't never closed, man. I mean, we left the door stop up in there. We was like, look, man, we gonna sneak our way back in the building before the lights go out. And we had to crank this up, man. This is an X party. What's that movie Rock with the X? They threw that big ass party in the house party and all that. The X something. I messed the joke up, but it was an X party. And we letting y'all in, man. So come in as you are. Bring your drinks, bring your bottles, bring your socks and shoes. I don't give a damn what you got, man. Just know it's about to go down. But most of all, bring your trades, man. Bring those rebuilding trades, those doo-doo teams, your doo-doo brown shares. We're going to get rid of those and try to find you some gold when you're digging at the bottom of that toilet, man. So, Rock, he has all the formula, all the process, everything my boy's cooked up, man. He like to marinate. He like to simmer. He like to cook tiramisu, baby. So this don't take a whole lot of time, but it's going to taste just right. So, Rock, man, what you got for us? And just know when you need help, you put that poop sign up and we going to show up, baby. What's up, Rock? What's going on with you, playboy?
Fizz, just like you said, you know, we're open for lunch and we're open for dinner. The nicest restaurants, that's what they do. They close for a few hours in between. That's what we did. But we weren't taking a break. You certainly weren't taking a break. I know you were with your kids. You're helping them out with their tests, with their schoolwork. And I was just prepping for tonight. So the best restaurants, they close for the afternoon so they can prep for dinner. This is the dinner service, guys. So we're happy that you joined us. The name of the movie you were thinking of, Fizz, is called Project X.
Project X. There we go, baby. I knew it was an X involved and not an ex-girlfriend. So I said, hey, man, one of those X letters is in there. And we here, we throwing the party, man. The doors are open. And we will open the floor for anybody. More so the people that have questions about a rebuild team. You know, it's week 8 now, and you pretty much like, look, man, another win is another step back for me with this team. One thing I think we need to recognize when it comes to playing Dynasty, I just had this conversation with my father. So this is his first year. I'm glad he's in the chat. I said, Pops, look at your team. You are 1-5 or 1-6 currently. You got this. It's time to hang it up. It's kind of time to do what I say in real life, Rock. You know, people kind of knock me for saying, man, my team ain't going to win it all. It's time to chop it up. It's time to just say, look, it's over with. I'm tired of picking at pick 20, 19, 18. Let's get us a top 5 and figure this thing out. So in Dynasty, we're thinking that way. And if you're 1-6, 2-4, or 2-5, even if you 3-4, but you're looking at your roster like I'm 4-3, 3-4, but I got the lowest amount of points. You got to be a little real with yourself and say, look, man, this is a facade, and it's time to shake off some of these high-scoring players because the more they help me, the more it's hurting me in the long run. So that's what we're here to do tonight, man. But, of course, any Dynasty trade questions we will answer. We just prefer to help out the guys that are in a state of shock and don't know what to do, and we're just going to remind them that the tank is headed to the bank, baby, if you learn how to do it right. So, Rock, man, give us the process. Break it down a little bit, man, before we start answering some of these questions. And we here for the people, man. Let us know why we here tonight, brother.
So we are here tonight because we want to talk rebuilding. This week, we're going to talk rebuilding. Next week, we're going to talk about contending.
Yeah.
So we are happy that you are here tonight. Do you want me to get in my process the next 10 or 15 minutes? I would prefer, if we could, let's just holler at the few people that are here right now.
Here we go.
And then we can talk for the next 10 or 15 minutes.
I like that.
And yeah.
Well, first of all, Rob, before you do that, man, can you remember the process we went through of figuring out how to fix our names? Because we went over this when we got off the show. And I want to remind the people so that they can get it right so I don't forget their name. I think for those that's watching, if you don't have a computer, you might not be able to do this, or you might can go on your browser. But me and Rock went through a test run of trying to figure out how to fix your name so that because I'm looking at the names of the people in the chat and I want to shout you out. But I'm like, man, this Snoop Dogg 187, this ain't who I really thought it was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out who we are and who we got popping. But Rock, give us the rundown. This is what, hold on, Rock. I'm going to give us our flowers. We giving people strategies on how to trade fantasy players and how to fix profile names, baby. This is what we do, man. Men of the people. So hook us up. My bad. I ain't mean to cut you off, but hook us up, man.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate the hype. Go on YouTube on your browser. So on what is it called? Google Chrome or whatever you use to stream the internet. Click on your face in the top right corner, your avatar. So I click and view my beautiful face. Then I click view channel. And then I'm going to hit customize channel, and it's going to bring up your profile channel customization. And you scroll down, you see your name and you see your handle. So if you don't like your name or you don't like your handle, well, you can get a name change or a handle change. Won't cost you nothing. You can
There we
do it
go.
absolutely for free. All it costs you is a couple clicks, and that's
There we go.
all you need. So,
well, that's just something we want to break down because I want to get my people right, man. My people in the chat. I hate not knowing who's in here, especially the regulars. And my boy Dr. did speak to us first. He said, "What's up, amazing, beautiful people?" But I do remember. Now I will say this, Rock. I don't want to be the guy that recognizes the orange D as I know who this is. You feel me? Come on, Dr. Man, hook us up, brother. I don't want to say, yeah, that's my boy Orange D right there. You feel me? So let's get that together, man. If not, it's all good. You'll be the place to be with me, big dog. All right, but being an Orange D and being the place to be, that's crazy work right there, brother. I just want to let you know that, man. But we appreciate you, big dog. Pops, what's good? You in the building for sure. My boy Soggy up in here, man. Patty Mills up in the building. You know Rob gonna drop the questions off the early. We got you, Playboy. We got you, man. You ain't gotta worry about us putting you in the queue tonight. We got you as soon as we come up. First come, first serve, and you know how we doing it. And my boy Patty said he got no rebuilders, but hey, man, you can always
must be nice.
You can always exactly right. You can always build something though, my boy. You know, build up a trade. So it's all good. You got questions? Let us know, man. You know, waiver wise popping, and you got a trade that you want to make before the night clears. Because one thing I will say, Rock, I had a vacant spot yesterday, and I was trying to hurry up and make a trade before the games kicked off because I needed to pick somebody up or I needed to swap and get a position filled. And I'm like, bro, can this dude hurry up and accept this trade so I can empty this bench spot and make this move? So, Patty, man, those are always situations too, especially in lineup leagues where you can pick players up before the game, before they play. Sometimes you got to make a trade real fast to fill in that position, bro. So anything you got, Patty Mills, we ain't mad at you. We got you tonight, brother. But Rock, man, give us the process, give us the formula and why you are the chef with the menu, brother. You know, you got the recipe. Hook it up.
Okay, so back in my first days of writing Fizz, I wrote 2 articles. They were both on trading. One was called passive trading. The other one was called active trading. Passive trading is more for, you let the trades come to you. Active trading is when you go on the hunt. But a lot of what we could talk about with passive trading is when you're in the rebuilding cycle, Fizz. And I think a good place to start off is, how do you know if you're rebuilding and how do you know if you're contending? So let me ask you, Fizz, before I give my formula, how do you know personally for your own teams if you're in rebuilding mode or contending mode? You're on mute.
Well, that lets you know I'm trying to rebuild myself together, brother. But I will just say, I don't think you really know until you know, right? It's a decision I think you have to come up with in yourself. I think sometimes we go through cycles where, again, like I said earlier, you can be 4-3 right now. And you like, man, I can't see myself losing because I'm 4-3. I'm number 5 in the league. I'm in the playoff spot, but I'm number 9 in scoring in the 12-team league. You know what I'm saying? But you're the only team that's not injured. A lot of other people that contended. So it's different variables when it comes to knowing when you're rebuilding and when you're not. I'll just say, me personally, it's a decision that I make myself because there's been times where I wasn't necessarily a rebuild, but I didn't like the way my team was structured. And I just say, you know what? This team is so good. Oh, I suffered multiple injuries. And I said, this team is so good, but I suffered too many injuries, or I don't like the future of this team. And I don't know if I'm going to win. So I'm going to bite the bullet on this one and just say, look, the tank to the bank, baby. And that's one of my favorite lines. I will say in the league last year, I thought I had one of the strongest teams. Puka Nacua got hurt. Caleb wasn't doing nothing. Justin Fields got benched. Michael Penix was on the bench. Bryce Young got benched. So at that point, Rock, I said, you know what? Let's just hold him and fold him. So I went from pick 102. Now this year, I was leading the league in scoring. So I'm just saying that to say I pivoted when I realized injuries, benches. Let's go ahead and step back, man. Let everybody else think they can do something because next year, that's my time. So I think it's a button that you have to click yourself to say, I'm a rebuild, man. I'm not going to worry about what nobody else thinks or what nobody else says. I'm going to do what I got to do for what I want later on.
I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Fizz. And here are some of the main takeaways for our audience tonight. I want them to be thinking about. So for the way my process is and my philosophy, it's very risk adverse, Fizz. What I mean by that is you need to consider the multitude of things that can go wrong with a trade or with your team, Fizz. Put enough room for error. You know, those little guardrails they put when you're bowling, Fizz. Your ass might go out of the bounds and not hit any of the pins. You got to be able to, when you're, operating your dynasty team, you need to pretend like you're bowling, Fizz. So I think it's pivotal, first and foremost, above all other else, leave a lot of room for error. So one of the biggest projects I researched on, Fizz, I spent 3 months, an entire regular season. I looked at all my dynasty leagues. This is 125 trades I looked at over 3 different years. Every year that we had, it was multiple years, Fizz. On average, only 1 of 10 trades that I reviewed were either positive for both managers or had negligible results, like pretty dead even. Very few teams, Fizz, won more than 50% of their trades. The teams that won the championship either didn't trade during the offseason or won easily more than 50% of their trades. But I think the biggest takeaway, and this is especially true if you're rebuilding, Fizz, is that the teams that focus on pick acquisition accounted for the most won trades. That's because, picks, they don't get hurt, and you can always use them. They're far more liquid than a player. So you can use them either in the upcoming rookie draft or you can use them to trade for other players, Fizz. So you talk about the tank for the bank. I like the Iron Bank philosophy. That's just a nod to Game of Thrones, where you're able to acquire all these different assets with pick acquisition and just build up that iron chest and then be able to pay for that golden army. So obviously that's what we want to do. I think the best strategy when it comes in your startup is just rebuild for the first 2 years and just acquire as many firsts as you can. Come out in year 3 with your 3 dragons and just tear shit up. So I think that's the best way to go about it. If you're wondering, should I be contending? Should I be rebuilding? I think an easy way to be able to look at it, if you're not top 4 in points for at this point of the season, the halfway point of the season, we're about to enter into week 8. If you're not top 4, Fizz, it's probably not going to happen. Because Coop, if you look at a lot of his podcasts that he's done, usually if you're the 1 or 2 seed, you have a far better chance of winning the whole thing. If you're the 4th seed or 3rd seed or anything below that, it's a lot riskier, Fizz, to be able to try to go in. So that's why another thing I advocate for is the trade schedule. So you start off the earlier part of the season, you're only willing to trade thirds. Then when it gets to the half point part of the season, you're only willing to trade seconds. And if you are in top 4 in scoring, Fizz, that is when I'm about to enter the playoffs, that's when I'm willing to trade my firsts. Because too many things can go wrong with players that get injured. Someone was just crying about this morning, oh, I traded for Mike Evans. I traded for all these guys. They just fucking got hurt. Well, that's the whole reason why we don't wait to make those huge trades until later on in the season, Fizz, to avoid that heartache. So that is my risk-adverse philosophy. I like to be top 4 to know if I'm contending. If I'm not, I want to be the first to market when it comes to trading away my older assets that aren't going to do me any good this year or next year because I'm going to be rebuilding, Fizz. So I know that was a lot of information that I just threw at you. What are your thoughts on that? If anyone has any questions, let me know in the chat.
Well, yeah, I'm with you though, bro. Especially when it comes to trading your picks, playoff time is always key. The biggest problem we see is, like you just said, somebody seeing an opportunity, which sometimes is all this is really luck, bro. Right? It's really luck, but it's a gamble that you have to live
100%.
with. That's why I preach getting your guy, because if you can live with gambling and getting your guy versus, man, I made this trade that I know I shouldn't have made and I lost this bet. Now I don't got to scratch my head of one bad trade rock will make you get rid of your whole team. I done seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? People like, man, I'm leaving this league. I don't know what to do. And the problem with it is we jumped the gun too early. Somebody had a good week. Somebody looked like they heard it through the grapevine. Oh, man, he's finally taking off. And then the injury happened or a trade happens or whatever the case. So like you said, those locked in contending teams, if it's a deal that's just a deal still on wheels, I guess you got to roll the dice. But when it come to, I'm just trying to make it to that playoff run. If I'm top 1, 2, 3, 4 seed, give me about week 13-ish, 12, 14. All right, man, let's make this trade because now I'm trying to win it all and I'm going to lock in on this pick. Because at least I know if I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to be a late first anyway. So now I can move it, feeling more comfortable knowing that I took the gamble on a late pick. But the worst part I will say, Rock, to kind of contract about this whole conversation are teams that got rid of their pick and they can't tank because now, damn, I don't even have my own pick. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a good team, but I don't have my own pick because I traded a year before or I traded it early in the season. So I think a lot of times trying to tank goes with knowing you have your own pick as well, because some players don't have their own and now they're forced to try to win games that they know they can't win.
There's a couple of things I want to say on that. I think the first thing with the beginning of your conversation, Fizz, I think it's important to remember, man, I was trying to remember what I was about to say. There's too many things there's so many good thoughts that we were just bouncing back and forth. Before I forget it, if you are in a situation where, like me, you don't have your first and you are in a rebuilding, unfortunately, you went all in, it didn't work out, and now you've been suffering for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3 years, Fizz. I think the best thing that you can do is always be building up the depth on your team, because very similar to an NFL team and how they operate, like a Titans or a Jets, they're not ready for that Cam Ward. They're not ready for their quarterback of the future, Fizz, because they have too many issues when it comes to depth. There's not that much dissimilarity between those NFL teams and our teams. So if you try to trade up for these big golden assets, like I'm not trading for Puka Nacua on my rebuilding teams. I'm not ready to be able to take on that type of asset and give up everything it would take to be able to get it.
Don't cause it all.
But what I would like to do is build up the depth pieces. So what I've been doing a lot of my rebuilding teams, Fizz, is looking at the top scoring offenses and look at who is their second wide receiver, who is their third wide receiver, who is their backup running back. Because those players, if they're young enough, Fizz, I want to be able to have them on my roster. And if I believe that they're going to continue to progress, they're not going anywhere. So like I just traded straight up this today, Geno Smith, who is my guy, straight up for Alec Pierce on the building team.
I believe you might have won the trade as bad as Geno look right now.
Everyone was pissed off, and I don't know if they were pissed off because they got Geno or pissed off that I got Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anger. I don't know which side it was that they were falling on. But yeah, I'm looking at young guys like him, young guys like Trey Tucker, Kayshon Boutte. Look at just the second and third string wide receivers on teams. Look at the backup RBs on up-and-coming offenses. If you can get, especially if they're a rookie, like we talked about earlier, Kyle Monangai, those are the types of guys that I'm looking forward that will, if there is an injury ahead of them, they're going to be able to have some sort of value, Fizz. And I'm going to be moving off of guys like Geno Smith, unfortunately, like Devontae Adams, because I think Devontae Adams is going to be good this year and next year. And that was the other point that I was going to make. Whenever you make a trade, guys, be okay that if they got hurt the very next week, that you are feeling good about them being on your team, even if you don't see him until next year. So if I was a contender and I did trade for Devontae Adams, I know he's going to be good next year, Fizz. I want to feel bad about that whatsoever. Now, if you traded for Tyreek Hill, if you traded for Mike Evans, I'd be a little bit different about that. So that was the other rule of thumb that I have. Be okay if the guy goes down the very next week, that you can be able to swallow that. And no one is ever one trade away from winning it. That's the biggest lie from the pit of hell that people will be able to believe in, that they're always one trade away from winning it. Fizz, how many teams do you know in the NFL? I know we're talking about fantasy, but in the NFL who are amazing teams that at the trade deadline, they were only one trade away from being able to make a Super Bowl.
Yep.
That doesn't usually happen. You're usually either going to be going to the Super Bowl because your team has been building up for the last few years to get to where it needs to be.
It needs to be now, yep.
Or you're just never one trade away from going to to the dance at the very end of the year. So get that lie out of your head. You're never one trade away from doing it. You shouldn't be also one player away if they get hurt from your team being completely devastated. So those are some of the questions that you need to be asking. If you're in between contending or rebuilding, ask yourself all those questions. Am I one injury away from losing it all? Am I one player away from believing that I'm going to be able to make it all? And am I top 3 or 4 in scoring? If you ask yourself those simple questions, you can look at yourself and, clearly in the mirror, Fizz, whether or not you're a contender or rebuilder.
For sure. And you gotta be real with yourself, man. And I'm sitting here laughing, trying to hold this in, Rock, because they got this comment. And I believe they're talking about me because I am tired, brother. I said one of you have eyes that look like I feel, and I'm pretty sure my eyes are either red or they low. But I'm here, baby. I'm here. I got homework to do with my son after this. I've been doing homework since 4:00, but we here, baby. So I appreciate you, and I'm staying strong, man. Keep hope alive for your boy, baby. All right. But this to get that right before we get to the people, and I do want to throw some players up to ask you about certain things. I will throw a name up that I was gonna say for later, but why not add now, right? When you talked about looking at people's second receivers and third receivers and kind of the lower tier guys, this is what during the summer when we had this conversation about AJ Brown versus Smitty, and I think currently it's easy to say that they're this close now, but during the summer, I was kind of pushing the narrative of, one, I'm not the biggest AJ Brown fan. That's number one. But number two, I would just prefer to get a T. Higgins or Rashee Rice or someone in that realm around AJ Brown and then take my chance to try to get Smitty later. Because if I already not the biggest fan of the guy, it's nothing personal. It's just, I would just prefer Smitty, one. But two, I think their production can be the same. I really believe coming into the season that they can be neck and neck regardless of Devonta Smith not really getting the reps that he should, or the production that he should. But as you're looking into the season, it looks like if you decided to take that gamble and it worked out, you didn't take AJ and you took Smitty, you might have won that draft strategy because I believe they're like right here. And more people might prefer Devonta Smith currently right now. I know you look some stuff up. Give me the rundown on those two guys and we'll get into some questions and I'll throw some stuff up, bro.
I'm pretty sure that, whether we watch the game or we have Devontae Smith in Dynasty Football, that Jalen Hurts actually does prefer Devontae Smith. And also him being younger, him being cheaper, and AJ Brown not really differentiating himself outside of some few key metrics, Fizz. At the end of the day, those key metrics could be great one day and gone the next. That's exactly what's happened this year. AJ Brown was top 3 in almost every key metric you could have looked at last year, and it hasn't come to fruition whatsoever this year. So the other thing is also too, Fizz, there ain't nothing better for a rebuilder if you do want to get those key assets like, say, a George Kittle, maybe even a Malik Neighbors, Fizz, even though that's going to cost you when injuries happen. If you're not a pretender, if you're a rebuilder, Fizz, that should be one of the first things that you get into those people's DMs when a player goes down. It's just like, hey, if you end up moving off of this guy, please consider me before you ever trade him away. So some of the guys that, could be great if you're in a rebuilder, Fizz, let me look at some of these guys right here.
Yeah, run through the list, and while you do that, I'm gonna give some of the people a shout out. My boy Geist is in the building, and Terminal, I got you, bro. They switched the names up. Rock we went and did a tutorial of hopefully how to fix it. So hopefully we hooked you up with that. You can rewind it later and see how to fix your name. I'm not sure why YouTube did that. And Govnik and Fat Jericho, I remember from earlier, brother. Your name got changed, but I remember the logo. We back where we need to be, baby. So hook it up, Rock, and then we're gonna answer some questions, man, and holler at the people, brother.
Okay, so a guy that I think is going to go down in price a little bit when the RB1 comes back from Minnesota, Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason, I think, can easily split the carries for the rest of the year, but then also to be a shoe-in for the RB1 if they decide to move off of, I can't remember his name. I haven't seen him play in so long. Who's the RB1 in Minnesota?
Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones. Yeah, I can't even remember his freaking name. So Jordan Mason, I think, could be a good one, Fizz. You scroll down a little bit. This is in the 100s of Keep Trade Cuts Dynasty rankings, Fizz. You can go into DeAndre Swift. He's the RB31. He's the 98th overall player. He's only 26 years old, Fizz. He could definitely be tearing shit up, or at least be a solid flex RB for the Chicago Bears for the next couple of years. You got Woody Marks right after him. Tootin hasn't done shit, and I know he's talented, Fizz. The whole offense has kind of not been that great, but if they do decide to move on from ETN, then you got to be able to swallow, the lack of production right now in hopes that he's going to be able to rebound later on. So
I was gonna say, don't be swallowing nothing, but go ahead. You good?
there's guys like Josh Downs, who we know when healthy are one of the best route runners in the NFL. He's on one of the top 10 offenses, one of the best offenses right now, Fizz. He's actually on the best offense in the Indianapolis Colts, which no one would have thought of. Jacoby Myers might get traded. He was just asked today, hey, do you want to still get traded? He's like, hell yeah, I still want to get traded. This
said, but I'm a professional.
Sucks.
Shout out Myers, man. He said, my name is Jacoby, not Michael Myers, baby, but I don't want to be here at all. You feel me? So shout out my boy, man. That was a professional answer. I salute him for that one.
Then there's other guys that you aren't going to go anywhere anytime soon. You got Romeo Dobbs. You got Wan'Dale Robinson. You got Ollie Gordon, who is backing up Devon Achane, who is one of my favorite RBs in the league. That would be just if anything ever happened to Achane, he's getting run into the ground, Fizz. He's the entire offense. I would not be surprised if Achane got hurt. Ollie Gordon could be a very serviceable backup to him and be able to take over that spot. Then you got your Isaac Teslas, your Kayshon Booties. These are not necessarily the sexiest names. Cedric Tillman, Jalen Coker, Trey Tucker, Blake Corum. Look for guys that have talent, that are on top 10 offenses that you guys like. Those are all guys that stick out to me. You guys all have your own players that you really like watching on Sunday, that you watched on college, that you like their prospect profile, that you are able to root for them. I am on guys. Fizz has his guys. I love Rashad Bateman. Plays for the Ravens. Those are the types of guys that I'm looking for, Fizz, that aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg, that you can trade some of the bigger assets that you have for two or three of these guys.
Yeah,
I traded away Mike Evans and Jawan Jennings, who are older, on a team that I was 8th in scoring, for both Trey Tucker, Alec Pierce, and a second. So it's just like, those are the types of trades that you guys can be making right now. And these trades are going to be available from now until the end of the season. And they're going to only get better and better for you, actually, because these contenders are going to get more and more desperate to be able to try to differentiate themselves from the rest of the pack. So take advantage of, their enthusiasm and maybe overconfidence to try to win a championship with trades, and just be able to continually acquire those assets this year, next year, and then in year 3, well, then you're going to have a goon squad. So that's ideally the way to go about it, Fizz. So
there we go, brother. Well, look, man, let's holler at the people, man. My boy Rob must be getting bored, man. He's yawning on this, man. So let's see if we can hook brother Rob up, man. All right, let's see what's good. Let's see what's popping, baby. And let's get to the people, man. Rob was first in line. Let's hit him before Fox 5 call him and he go back to sleep, man. All right, Rob, we're going to hook you up, big dog. He said trade for Golf, 26 first, 26 second, and he has Hurts. It's 10 teams, start 10, super flex, full PPR, 0.5 tight end premium. So trade, I guess, Golf for first and second. Oh, I'm sorry. Is he trading the first and second for Golf, or is he trying to get Hurts? He said he has Hurts, so
I don't know what he's trading for.
Yeah, what you trying to trade? I now have. Yeah, what's the question again, Rob? Because I saw you said Golf 26. So are you trading Golf for the first and the second, or are you trying to trade the first and the second for Golf? Let us know, big dog.
I don't know. Maybe instead of being a fucking smart ass and putting a yawn on there.
Well, he broke Steve Harvey's Lego set, man, on New Year's Eve, man. So Rob is a wild boy. Rob, we're going to get right back to you, big dog. We're trying to figure that one out. Let us know, because you got a typo, big dog. All right? We got you, man. We got you. It's all good. Who next up in the building? I did see my boy. And actually, man, I'm trying to get back to these names, baby. And did I skip anybody, Rock? I hope I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, yesterday's future.
Okay, my fault. I got you.
Yeah.
I got. Oh, okay, yeah, guys too. My bad. I got you. This was the one I just saw, and it was a good question. So I'm gonna bring this up. My boy Connor said, Travion Henderson, you buying or you selling, bro?
Let's see what the price is for him on Keep Trade Cut.
Well, I just say this For the right price, I'm definitely buying. That's for sure. I don't know if I'm selling though, because I wouldn't get nothing back than what I would, what I paid.
Yeah, definitely don't be selling. He is the RB16 right now, Fizz. He's going right after Cam Scatterbo. He's going right after AJ Brown.
Okay.
So the players that are going after him: Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, Laporta, T. Higgins, Tucker Kraft, Ricky Pearsall, Travis Hunter. Yeah, I would rather have literally all those players after him. So I'm gonna keep waiting until his price continues to go down. But Fizz, we know from what we saw from him in college, we know from his prospect profile, we talked about it during this offseason, that he is one of the most talented RBs in this class.
For sure.
He's got
No
the
question.
speed. He's got, especially when it comes to his receiving game props, that's the number one thing that you want one of these prospects, is not only to be able to rush the ball effectively, but to really, separate themselves from the rest of the pack when it comes to their receiving. He's on an up-and-coming offense with a very young QB that looks absolutely amazing in Drake May. He just has to earn it. And Vrabel said that they still have plans for him to do great things in the future. He literally said that today. So I think he's just going through his rookie bumps right now.
And they win the game, so they ain't tripping,
Yeah. So no, I absolutely still want to be in on Travion Henderson. And if the price gets low enough where he's like worth like a second and a third, which won't be too much longer if he continues to screw shit up. I still went in on him because we just got to give grace and a little bit of time for these rookies, Fizz, to be able to. Yeah,
for sure, man. Long story short, don't sell, but try to buy as low as you can, man. I see Rob came back. He was bragging to let us know. He said he traded Golf 26 first, 26 second, and he acquired Hurts. So he was also saying that hold on, then he put I traded. Rob, what you got going on, brother? Man, you got to put them beers down, man. What you got going on? I'm so confused right now, Rob. We're going to hook you up, man. Put the right one in there. We're going to get it right through. I'm trying to figure out what you got going on, bro. Okay, I'm guessing he said he traded Golf, a 26 first and a 26 second, and he got Hurts. So you wanted our thoughts on that trade because he also has Lamar, Hurts, and Herbert now in his quarterback room. So Superflex, he acquired Hurts for Golf, 26 first and a 26 second. And now he has Lamar, Hurts, and Justin Herbert.
What are your thoughts on it, Fizz?
I mean, hey, when you can give up Golf a first and a second for Hurts, that looks like on cue, man. That looks pretty on cue. I would just say it is a super flex, and you do need a third quarterback. If I got Lamar and Herbert though, and Lamar, he's been hurt. I don't know if I would reach for the sky to get Hurts, to be honest. I think if I got Lamar and Herbert, I think I want a tier like a Michael Penix, somebody that wouldn't cause that much. Even Jared Goff, just keeping Goff. I would sell Goff for a Penix. I just don't know if I would reach for the sky and give away a first and a second and Goff for Hurts. And now I'm stuck with one of those three quarterbacks who might put up 40 a week on my bench. I think maybe those picks could have been the better assets, especially in a 10-team league. You probably could have got a top-tier receiver or running back with one of those picks and maybe got a Michael Penix or a down tier from Goff, I believe. So maybe even Purdy. Purdy's hurt. I would trade Goff and get Purdy in a pick for Goff. I think that would have been a solid deal too. I would probably would have down tier from Goff versus trading up to get Hurts and Lamar and Herbert. So with this move though, Rock, I would say I probably would be looking to move a Herbert if I had to, but I think he gave away a lot to get Goff for already having Lamar and Herbert.
Yeah, I think that here's the thing. Whenever I try to make a trade, I don't just go to the one manager. A lot of times I think a mistake that people do is they get fixated on one player. They get fixated on one manager because that one manager is actually hitting them back in the DMs, Fizz. It's just like they message all the different ones. They keep swiping all the different leagues managers they have. Mm-hmm. And then there's the one that responds to them. So the one that responds to them, you're fixated on only the assets that you have. So let's just say this is the only guy that responded to Rob, and he happens to have Hurts. And sometimes you just want to force a trade. Now, when I look at the points per game, yeah, Hurts is definitely ahead of Goff. I mean, we're talking about 21 versus 17 points per game. Both of them are on top 10 offenses in the NFL. Both of them have elite pass catchers and just weapons around them. Mm-hmm. So these are two situations that I definitely want to be in, Fizz. But when we're talking about a 10 team, you don't actually really need a third QB, especially in Superflex, Fizz, because in the what is it called? I'm trying to remember who the coach was for the Indianapolis Colts, but he said it perfectly. He said, if we lose Peyton Manning, we're fucked. It doesn't matter. So it's just like there is no backup plan whatsoever. So if you want to be able to just try to have the greatest insurance policy whatsoever, you're playing more safe and scared. You're not really actually trying to play to win, because are you really going to try to really consider, now that you have Hurts, Lamar, and Herbert, are you going to try to play the matchup game between Herbert and Hurts? Because you're going to have to play Lamar every damn week. And I don't want to have to think about that. I would rather have two elite QBs, Fizz, and a serviceable guy that I only have to worry about playing for 2 weeks during the season if the bye weeks has happened to be on the same one for both Lamar and for Hurts. All you have to worry about playing that guy is twice a year for their bye weeks. That's it. And all those other assets, that first and second, could have gone towards another wide receiver. That's the way I play personally. And I'm fine with Goff, as my QB3.
For sure.
That's me personally, but I also love Hurts. So
yeah, I mean, that's why I say I think I will be looking to move Justin Herbert. He's probably now that I have Hurts and Lamar, now it's time to move Herbert, because again, I would down tier from Herbert too. I keep saying Penix, but a guy in that range, you know what I'm saying? A Michael Penix, maybe not a Cam Ward, but just somebody that's on the come up, that's still young, got a little bit of youth on their side, and they can get you where you need to be on the bye weeks and in case of an injury. But I definitely wouldn't be holding on to 3 top tier quarterbacks in a 10-teamer right now, though, Rob. So hopefully we hooked you up with that one, Playboy.
He could have had Sam Darnold as his QB3.
Yeah,
exactly. You could have Daniel Jones. Those guys only cost you a first. That's it. So those are the types of assets that I want as my QB3. I think they're absolutely perfect. And we don't know whether or not he's first in scoring, second in scoring. That was the whole thing that I opened up the show with. We have no idea where he's at in the pecking order. There's no context to it. And all we know is just what his QB room is. So
yeah, but hopefully hooks you up with that one, Rob. And next week, man, let us know that you got off of those guys or one of those guys, and you made that move, man, that we looking for. So let's see what else we got. We got my boy Geist, man. Appreciate you coming through. He said, how about giving your first second for a RB like a James Cook, Josh Jacobs, JT?
That's a great question.
And I asked you, Rock, in that order, which way would you go in that order? And then give us the explanation as to why. That's a great question.
I'm getting Jonathan Taylor for first second.
I doubt it, but that's why I asked you, give us the order. But
he's going to cost you 2 firsts. I mean, you could have gotten him for a single first or maybe a first and a third at the beginning of the season, but he's probably the highest scoring fantasy player right now. I mean, he's had three touchdown games. He's on the best offense, and he's the focal point of that offense. So you're not going to be able to get him for that price anymore. I love James Cook and I love Josh Jacobs, but I will say this to you guys. If you give me just a few weeks, me and Fizz are about to kick off our buy and sell videos for the next couple of weeks. We're going to start off with tight ends. We're going to go then from QBs, wide receivers. The last one we're going to do is RBs. And the reason why I do that one last is because not only do people not respect the RB name in the fantasy space, also in the NFL space, unfortunately, well, they just use them as disposable assets, but they also have a lot of attrition. So you don't want to be trading your first and a second for James Cook, Jacobs, or JT today if they get hurt next week or the week after that. 4 weeks, wait till I come out with my research so I could tell you who the absolute best RBs are in the NFL and then go trade for those guys. And then you'll know that they're healthy at that point too. And all these guys are going to be available in a few weeks, in a month, because they're older and they don't have the respect that they deserve in the NFL space or in the fantasy football space. So that's what my thoughts would be. You're on mute.
I'm fussing at my son every time I mute him. My bad. Put an exclamation point on that. Look at Chuba Hubbard's situation, right? Just imagine if you traded for Chuba Hubbard 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago when he had that 2 weeks of 18 and 19 points, and then he gets hurt, and now all of a sudden we don't even know if he's a starter anymore, right? So this is why you wait. This is why you take your time. Nobody in the world could have guessed Rico Dotto was going to even appear to take a job, let alone do what he did. So the running back position should be spoke on last, because like you just said, bro, in the NFL, in the fans, and in Dynasty, we don't respect the position, man. So hold on to those running backs. But that is a good question, though, guys. So we appreciate it. And Rob, it's all love, Playboy. No worries, man. You know, we like joking around with you, but it's all good. You are 6-1. Like I said, man, try to move Herbert if I was you. And just down tier, man. Maybe you get a couple picks back, or a player and a quarterback. But I don't think you will need all three unless you just locked in, especially at 6-1. Yeah, you. Not to expand on this conversation, but you 6-1 and you didn't have Lamar Jackson playing. So I definitely wouldn't need all three of those guys right now.
The best thing that he did, Rob, is not only apologize, which we do appreciate, and it is all love here, but you did trade for Hurts, which is me and Fizzes. That's one of our favorite quarterbacks.
Yes,
that's at least one. So we absolutely love Jalen Hurts. At least trade for guys that are great, that we love. Hopefully that's one of your favorite QBs too, Rob. So you will never feel bad trading for a guy that you really, really love. Even if you have to pay up an arm and a leg for it. That's another thing. That's the balance, that me and Fizz try to talk about. You don't just play with the strategy. You also have to play with your heart and with your gut and with your mind. So you got to try to be able to put all those things together when it comes to your trade. And then also, too, real quick, last note on Geist's thing. James Cook, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, those are three of the best RBs in the NFL right now, and they're all playing on top-tier offenses. Yeah. They are the focal point of all of their offenses. So if you really want these guys, don't trade your first and a second right now. See if you can trade players. Your draft capital should be the last thing that leaves your doors, Fizz.
Yeah.
Try to trade your players, because people who – I guess when they trade away their picks, it's like opening up a new credit card, Fizz. It's not necessarily good to be able to do that. That should be the last resort. You're about to go into the championship. I have no use for these picks. That's usually when I trade away those types of picks, Fizz. Is literally like in the playoffs or right before the playoffs if your league has that trade deadline. So
unless you're swapping a pick for a year later. Sometimes we do that where we give up a 26 and get a 27. Then that's when you throw those pick trades in. But I'm with you. Say those picks for later, baby, because those are your golden goose. You want to have that in your left pocket, your right pocket when it's time to trade for the playoff run. But yeah, good one on that one, Rob. I hooked my boy Shizzles up one time. He is in the building. He said, buy or sell Tez Johnson. I heard today Tez Johnson is receiver 2. Again, my boy Chris Godwin still ain't healthy, but I still believe personally he's the number 1.5 with Mbuga doing what he's doing. But Tez Johnson is hot right now, baby. And one thing I've learned about Baker Mayfield, whether it's McMillan or Tez Johnson or if it's Mbuga, it don't matter who playing receiver. That boy Baker Mayfield gonna make his receiver look good. So what you thinking about Tez Johnson, brother? He's a buy sell for you. I would just say, me personally, he's a buy maybe in a best ball. I'm not sure in the lineup. I'm looking for Tez Johnson though.
Definitely not in a lineup whatsoever. Fizz. So when people go, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna go to keep trade cut. They're gonna look at Tez Johnson's value. They're gonna see that he's the wide receiver 96 and he's worth 1803 in super flex leagues, Figs. This is where he ranks amongst his counterparts. He is after De'Ami Brown, Tank Bigsby, Joshua Palmer, Will Shipley. He is ahead of Kendrick Bourne, Chris Rodriguez, Marshawn Lloyd. So what I'm saying is he ain't worth shit right now. So you're not going to be able to sell him. So if you want to buy him, he's going to be far worth more than his production. It says that he on Keep Trade Cut is worth a late third. I would be willing 28. 2028 third, Fizz. We can have World War III by then and no more Dynasty football. So might as well just trade your 2028 late third or your Jalen Wright or Dalton Schultz. Holy shit. I would trade 2 Dalton Schultzes just get them off my fucking team before for Vince Johnson. So,
damn, okay.
man, I can't stand. I will never forgive Dalton Schultz for costing me a championship when I could have traded for Joe Flacco, who is still killing it, and Derrick Henry.
That's your fault. It ain't Joe's fault.
No, it is his fault because he made me look like a fool, Fizz. I believed in him because he was 29. Well, but 2 years ago, he was 27 years old. He looked like the next up and coming. He had CJ Stroud. Don't mean shit now, Fizz. They're about to fire their OC, even though they say they're going to keep him. It's all bad in Houston.
Should have called Dr. Schultz then, brother. Should have called Dr. Schultz, man. Ain't looking
Houston,
good.
we have a problem. It's Dalton Schultz.
well, long story short, Shittles, man, if you got Chaz, keep him. If you're trying to buy him, offer a 28 third and work your way up to about a 27 fourth. Maybe that'll get it. But that's about as best I got for you. But again, in lineups, I'm good. Best ball, worth a shot, man. Only if you're a contending team, though. Young team, just let it ride out, brother. So he might be a cut for somebody in 3 weeks. You never know. So we'll see what's up with that, man. But shout out to you for coming through. My boy Brian is in the building. I'm not sure which Brian this is. I wish I knew the real name. They gave us a bunch of gibberish at the end of this, Brian. So unfortunately, it's not you, I'm pretty sure. But it's a code. It's coded. I'm going to figure it out for the night's over, brother. He said, I'm in a dynasty, start 2 quarterbacks, a 2-quarterback league dynasty. He said, do we think C.J. Stroud can turn it around, or am I doomed till they upgrade the O-line and running back position? And I'll just say this, bro. 2025, 2026, you might be okay with Stroud. But right now, it's no stride in that Stroud whatsoever. And looking at him, bro, last night, he almost pulled what's your guy that's on ESPN right now?
Stephen A.
Olofsky, he almost ran out of the back. I mean, he ran the end zone, but he looked like about to run out of the damn end zone and get a safety that way, bro. C.J. Stroud is lost, bro. He don't know what's going on. His O-line is so bad. As soon as the ball is hiked, he's just running for his life. It's just not a good thing right now, bro. And unfortunately, if you have Stroud, man, I don't know what to do with him, bro. So I believe you are doomed, especially if you have to start 2. It's not going to look good for you right now, Playboy. Rock, give him some help, brother. Give him some help, man.
So I was not feeling...
Or what? Let us know, man.
Also, I did love the stride for Stroud, too. I thought that was pretty slick.
There we go, baby.
There.
You know I got him. I got them bars for you.
I think that his rankings in Key Trade Cut are fugazi. It says that he's ahead of Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. That's bullshit right there. Yep. No one that has either of those players, especially Dak Prescott, is going to want to be trading.
You can find that. Please go send it right now for Dak Prescott and see what you get, big dog. Please.
As he's also ahead of Jared Goff. I probably want to do that either. So at the beginning of the offseason, Fizz, I did trade CJ Stroud straight up for the 101 pick. So I did get Ashton Genty for it. There is something, and we talk about this all the time on our show. It does not feel good to have talented players in bad situations, Fizz, because it just doesn't work out for them. We know that CJ Stroud is talented. We know that he has a great head coach in DeMeco Ryans. We know that he has an awesome defense. And we know that he has very good offensive pass catchers, with Nico Collins being one of the best. He is an elite wide receiver, Fizz. And we'll see what happens with Jaden Higgins and all the other guys that they have there. But they don't really have a running game. We'll see what happens with Woody Marks. But the main question is their OC and their offensive line. So if you're a rebuilder, Fizz, I wouldn't mind holding him. If you don't want to have to deal with the headache of the situation, do not trade him straight up for another QB. Because people are only going to be comparing them. You remember how we were talking about earlier about Bo Nix versus Patrick Mahomes? They had the same title, so they're going to be compared unfairly in that regard. You have to go cross-positionally. So unless you want to take the risk, I would not do this with J.J. McCarthy. You're going to have to go to a different position. So what I would recommend doing is if you're a rebuilder, I would go for a wide receiver, or that's probably what I would do. So here are the wide receivers that you can maybe trade them straight up for. You can get a Ricky Pearsall. You can get a Devontae Smith. I would feel good about either of those guys. I really like both of them. You can trade him. I don't want to trade him for just a first, Fizz, because then just a first, you have, depending on where that first is, you have anywhere from a 60% chance to a 30% chance at hitting on a top 12 guy. And it just comes down to hopefully hitting that right guy.
Well, I'm gonna say this though, Rock. Knowing that it's a start 2 quarterbacks, I can't see me trading him without getting a quarterback back. Like I couldn't trade him for.
I did that
Devontae Smith.
today. That 2 QB league that I'm in was the Geno Smith, Alec Pierce one. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I just wanted
Geno Smith, brother. Come on, he ain't no quarterback, man. He's a back quarter or something. I don't know what he is right now. He's a bronze quarter.
I'm just saying. And you know what the funny thing was? I love J Cap. It was with J Cap. Shout out to the lab. He said,
Yep.
well, I can't pass on the value. You know all the shit that I say about the word value, right?
For sure. But I just say, I mean, he's at the lowest you can get him right now. But even like a Cam Ward, I would have to get back. Like something that I just have to have a quarterback back. I don't know if I could trade Stroud straight up for a receiver that's a Devonta Smith, still labeled as a number 2 in real life. I just don't know if I could do that personally, knowing that if for whatever reason, let's just say next season now, I'm thinking ahead.
What if he gets traded in the next 2 weeks? That came out this past week, Fizz, that some people were saying that AJ Brown might be on the trade block.
I mean, well, that's true too. But I don't think that Smitty is who he is without AJ Brown, and keep it 100 with you though.
That's not true, Fizz. We know that the biggest games that he's had is when actually AJ Brown has been gone. And when brother,
I think his biggest games was when Dallas Goedert was gone, more so than AJ Brown.
Regardless, Fizz, when he's one of the top 2 targets right there. Man, this is the Heisman winner, Fizz.
This my dog. Listen, Rock.
Devontae Smith is one of the best wide receivers in the league.
I can clip when I was arguing with you to take Smitty over AJ. And you said AJ is a dog, 1,500 yards.
He is a dog. Fucking Jalen Hurts need to get him the damn ball.
So I'm not saying that you're wrong about him because I love Devonta Smith. I'm just saying I can't trade CJ Stroud for Devonta Smith. That's all I'm saying. I would need to have, like I said.
What if you have to deal with the heartache for the next 2 years? Because let's just say that they all next year, all they do is they draft 2 or 3 offensive linemen in the first 5 rounds.
Yep.
They really try to address it. They try to address it with trades. There's still no guarantee, though, that their OC is also going to be able to put it all together.
That's true.
So it's just like you can be holding on if you really, really want to. Like you're a rebuilder. Your team isn't going to go anywhere in the next couple of years. That is completely fine to be able to hold on to them. But if you want to get a little bit more, you're tired of looking at it, makes you feel sick. You're always talking about, man, it just stirs up my stomach looking at CJ Stroud in that terrible situation. Sometimes you just have to do it for your own mental health.
Yeah, your sanity. I'm with you. So it's a mental game, baby. It's even though we don't play it physically.
I was tired of looking at Geno Smith. Man, that bitch broke my heart. I have talked about him so
back with him and leave. Look, your light. Look, you about to blow up over there, baby. The CJ Stroud sent them sunshine hitters over there, man.
Holy shit!
You good?
Oh yeah, there it goes right there.
Look like the Unabomber dropped outside, man. You all right, bro? You good?
I'm not gonna do what I did with you off air. Oh man, that sounds kind of sketchy for me saying that right there.
There we go. Yeah, please don't. I won't.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
We don't want to get canceled. But I'll just say I do believe, Brian. Unfortunately, you are doomed, my boy.
No, you're not. You're not doomed. It's not too late.
You're doomed, man. You're doomed. You're doomed.
CJ Stroud. He's outside of like Joe Burrow, Fizz. He's like arguably one of the most accurate QBs in the league. Yeah, he ain't no Bryce Young, freaking Tua, or certainly not Trevor Lawrence, who continually has games where he's under 50% when it comes to completion.
Man, please don't get started.
CJ Stroud is absolutely amazing. He is an amazing QB. We are wanting for his situation to get turned around, but if you don't want to wait until next year, guys, then you could trade him away. But don't trade him. I was just going to say, don't trade him away and then be all pissed off when he puts it together next year. That's the other thing, too. You have to be a believer in him or not. If you're not a believer in him, trade his ass away. That's it.
Or just don't draft him like I was doing all season. Like I told you, I'm good on him. You feel me? But I will say Crispy said week 2 he traded Stroud for Dart straight up. What you think about that one? Now we
No,
talking
he
week
didn't.
2.
He did it the other way around. He
Oh, I'm
says,
sorry,
I
Dart for
traded
Stroud.
Dart
Okay,
straight up
okay.
for
I'm sorry. I'm
Stroud.
sorry. And I was
He
about to say
says,
Dart wasn't even starting. That's tough.
he says, let's smash
It was a
them,
smash then.
LOL. Yeah.
It's a smash pumpkin right now. It might be. I don't know, brother.
Freaking
Crispy, let me know
Gallagher
how
right
you feel
there.
about that one. You said then, so maybe you ain't feeling the same way, bro. You know.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was a
that's a tough situation to
That is
be
a
in
tough
right
one right there.
now.
That's a tough one right
But
there, Rock. Well, I see we don't have many questions, man. So I did want to bring this up because we weren't gonna be on long tonight. We want to give the people what we thought they needed while we had. But I got some players I want to bring up, Rock, and you give me some
all right.
sell highs or sell lows.
We'll
Let me
end
know,
on
bro.
this. This sounds good.
And we just now that we spoke about the situation, let me know something, baby. AJ Brown, where we at with him? We are rebuilding, right? Rebuilding team. The prices changed because early in the season we all know it was much higher. But where we at with AJ Brown that we rebuilding?
If you're rebuilding, you have to sell them off for this game. There has to be, especially if they string it together. For two touchdown game. A lot of people are not going to be willing to buy, especially off of just one game. Sometimes it takes 2, 3, maybe even 4 games, Fizz, for people to really be able to buy in. Sometimes you have to have a monsoon of just data and games and production in order for anyone to be able to budge. Because most people are going to be, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it again. So you might have to wait 3 or 4 more weeks, but he's definitely going to be a sell for me. And I'd be willing to sell him for a first and a second. Now, if I'm going to get anything less than that, I'm just going to hold his ass because he's 28 years old, Fizz. And we see these guys, especially at his size, Fizz, he's one of those dominant wide receivers. He is on the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe they become more of a pass-heavy team because they certainly seem not to be able to get things going when it comes to their running game. So if this is going to be more of what they do moving forward with him and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, where they are more pass-heavy, then it's not going to be – you're not going to feel bad holding on to him, but just do not sell him for less than a first and a second. And you can trade him for younger players, especially as like someone that's hurt. Like, could you get Ricky Pearsall plus a second for him? Could you get maybe even his teammate, Devontae Smith, who's 2 years younger, Fizz, and just get another second on top of that?
Well, I think the problem with trying to get Smitty right now is everybody in the world is in love with him all of a sudden. So it's kind of tough now. It's like once the word get out, Devontae Smith is good. Now everybody want him, bro. I mean, damn, what's up with it, man? I'm glad I made my trade for him last week in the league because I wouldn't have got it this week.
But those are the prices I'd be looking. I think that's fair to ask, a first and a second, right?
Yeah, for sure. Off of this game, I believe it's possible. Last week, maybe not so much, but off of this game, you could sell somebody on, hey man, the offense picked up, they figured it out. I believe you can make it happen.
So I advocated earlier for getting more depth, Fizz. Would you be willing to do Josh Downs and Jaden Reed for maybe a third for AJ Brown? Probably not even a third. Would you just do it straight up for Josh Downs and Jaden Reed?
Not a Jaden Reed guy whatsoever, bro. I want no parts of that.
I hate all the Packers wide receivers.
I do. Because Josh Jacobs is the key off it. Like you just said earlier, he's the key. I'm good on all them guys. So you asked the wrong guy with Josh Jacobs. No, keep me AJ Brown. He's that much of a. And I told you before, I'm not the biggest.
Downs and Shakir. They were both. No.
Hell no. Right, you talking in real life for a guy that really, really, really loved him, man. You going too low for my blood, man.
See, those are the types of moves that you might have to make in order to build up depth.
I need a guarantee. If I'm a rebuilding team, you're giving me a pick for AJ Brown. It ain't gonna come with two players, Shakir and Downs. I hope they don't reach my lineup. I had a bad week if they reach my lineup. I'm good.
Well, a lot of these leagues that I'm thinking of are best ball leagues, Fizz. It's definitely, you don't want to move off here's another rule that I have. Do not trade starters for backups.
There we go.
Both of those guys are bench players if it's a lineup league. But those are guys that can hit your lineup probably 30 to 40% of weeks if it's a best ball league, Fizz. And they both also, being on top teams, they have the propensity to have multi-touchdown games or even big blow-up spike weeks, you know? So like if I had the ability to be able to trade him for say like Downs, Reed, and maybe even squeeze in like Rashid Shaheed, maybe I have to give back a third, do a 2 for 3. Those are the types of moves that don't seem sexy right now.
Mhm.
But if you're not winning right now and you're not going to be anywhere close to winning in the next year or two, those might be the types of moves that you have to make. Those big down tiers in order to acquire depth for guys that are talented, that have youth, and that just give you a bigger player, window to be able to compete.
I'm with you, bro, but you're gonna have to pay up, man. You want some doo doo, man. Rich doo doo is always good for me, baby. I ain't. I'm like the Charmin bear when he's looking for that rich tissue, brother. You're not gonna. If I'm gonna wipe my ass with some doo doo, it's gonna be AJ Brown. Okay, it ain't gonna be those guys you gave me. No, indeed, you're gonna have to pay up, man, because the offense he's in, like you just said earlier, bro. This is one of the best offenses in the league. Jalen Hurts, one of the best QBs in the game. AJ Brown today, we saying what we saying right now, Rock. He can literally just say, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all something. For the next 4 weeks, put up 30 points in a row, and it can happen.
But it's not in his control. That's the unfortunate thing
No,
when it comes to a
but it
wide
can
receiver,
happen,
Fizz.
That's all I'm
It
saying.
can happen,
Rashid
but it
Shaheed
hasn't.
might give you one 30-point game in the next 5 weeks. AJ
That's
Brown
true.
might give you 4 in 5 weeks. So I'm just saying, I'm going with the consistency over a big bag of candy corn, and that I don't even want anyway, bro. I'm sorry.
Let's not talk about consistency with AJ Brown because that hasn't been for 2 years.
Oh, all right, baby.
Because that's the biggest thing, especially that's why he's such a good one to talk about, especially if it was Shaheed and Josh Downs and maybe even are able to get Jaden Reed coming off an injury. I would take those 3 in best ball versus just AJ Brown by himself. What?
All right, that's tough. Well, when I'm looking, I'm giving you this look, Rock. It ain't for you. My son is really on one right now, bro. He's getting on my nerves, man. But
He's not tired from all the learning he did earlier, man. My ass would be
we got
right
more
now.
words to get to, man. So I'm on dad time all the time, big dog over here. Let's how the people. We had a good discussion with AJ. I still want to stand on rich doo-doo is a lot richer than candy corn doo-doo. So let's go ahead and hook the people up, man. We had 2 more questions that jumped in. But I do like that discussion because I feel crazy being the guy taking up for AJ Brown these days because that was always a trade away from me.
Yes.
I saw Shittles brought up Bryce Young. Holler at him when he's healthy. I don't know what to say about Bryce Young. No love for the youngster right now, Shittles, unfortunately. Govnick came through though. He said, who do you buy on these high? Who you buying on the high for rookies? And what the hell is we doing with Fields right now? I wish I saw him doing the highs in the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, Govnick, you know me, I'm still a Fields stan. I'm still taking up for my guy. I even said in one of my leagues when somebody called me out, no quarterback for the Jets ever looked good. So I'm going to stand on. He just had the bad place to be. But as far as wishing you got off of him, hey, man, you win some, you lose some. You feel me? I just say this. The same way we preached earlier, Rock, live with your decisions. I can live with not trading Justin Fields because I was willing to ride it out with him until it worked. So it didn't. I can live with it. That's all I can say with that one, Kobe.
The only thing that would be a worse situation, Fizz, can you imagine going from the Bears, terrible, absolutely terrible QB organization, then going to the Jets, somehow worse. The only other one that he can go to top the last 2 stops he's been at, if he was the next Cleveland Browns QB. That would be the only thing where it's just like, man, you literally.
The Raiders.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's just like, I don't know. I think there's a reason why people are criticizing how much money he got for being the talent that he is. The reason why the Jets had to pay him $30 million or $20 million to be their QB is because no one else wanted to play for their fucking team. Just like you had Aaron Rodgers, you threw his ass out. You were tired of him trying to bring in some winning to their culture, and now you get what you get. So it's just a terrible.
And I'll just be real, Rock. I like what you just brought up, and let's just be honest, man. Name me one quarterback that worked out with the Jets. When they draft one in the first round this year,
Chad Pennington, and then his ass got hurt, and it was never the same again.
I'm standing on if the Jets draft the quarterback this year, I don't want no parts of them. I let you deal with it or whoever's in my league. I don't want no parts of the Jets
The
quarterback
last
room.
good one
I'm
they
good.
had is now stabbing people, Fizz. Or getting
Hey
stabbed
man,
by people. I'm sorry.
hey, he did. Look, man, Mark Sanchez is a wild boy, man. The crawfish wasn't hitting that weekend in New Orleans. I don't know what's going on, man. Let's go on to the next one, and we gonna get out of here soon. Let's get about 2
Wait,
more minutes.
let's answer
Oh,
Govnick's
the rookies, the
question.
buy high on the rookies. Yeah. Who
So,
are the buy high for the rookies?
Govnick, I do want to plug because me and EV, we want 2 hours on all the rookies. We dug in all the analytics and we talked about our favorite ones, the ones that we're still waiting on. None of them have really disappointed. It's just a lot of them are in tough situations like Travion Henderson, like RJ Harvey. But I will say this here are the guys that really popped out. Tyler Warren is having an insanely amazing season right now. So if you're able to trade for him, you're going to be getting a guy that is in the same breath as Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. So he's top 12 in so many different metrics right now. Fantasy points per game, target share, yards per team pass attempt, yards per route run, targets per route run. So absolutely love Tyler Warren. Harold Fannin and Mason Taylor are also great, who I also want on my team.
Harold Fannin, baby. We talked about him doing the scouting report, Rock. People need to go back and check it out, man.
Yeah, Harold Fannin, especially if David Njoku gets traded. I'm not sure if they do trade him away, Fizz. I think he's just too valuable to the franchise. The fans would literally burn down their stadium if David Njoku got traded. But Harold Fannin, absolutely amazing. The QBs, Fizz, not as impressive. As much as I love Jackson Dart, he is in a tough situation. I loved what I saw from him against that defense in Denver. I mean, he put 3 touchdowns on them. So if I was going to trade for a QB, I'd be willing to trade 2 freaking firsts for Jackson Dart because I absolutely love him. Emeka Egbuka, you're not going to be able to trade for him. He's going to cost you 2+ firsts. At that point, you might as well trade for Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, someone who's been doing it year after year after year. You're not going to be able to get the discount on Emeka Egbuka unless something happens with his hamstring. He misses a month plus.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, Rock. I know he said the buy high, but my thing is, man, those guys are really high. Tyler Warren right now is a bag. It's gonna cost a bag. I'm gonna throw a play out there that you can maybe not buy as high, but he's still value high. And this is an injured player in Omari Hampton. Because right now, sometime is what have you done for me lately? And with him not playing, and I'm hearing that he might not even play for multiple weeks past the week 4 deadline that they gave him, or the 4-week deadline that they gave him. Maybe people say, look, especially if you're a playoff contender that you thought you were going to run with Omari Hampton, you don't know what he's going to look like when he come back. Vidal looks okay now. Maybe Hampton would be my target if I had to buy a rookie that's value high because he's not playing, he's injured, and maybe somebody says, look, man, I need some current production. I don't have time to wait on the guy coming from a leg injury.
On a per metric basis, I didn't score these rookies, but I wouldn't be surprised of all the rookies. Omari Hampton is the best one so far at the running back position because he's in the top 12 in 4 different major categories for me. That is compared to Ashton Genty, who is top 12 in 3. Cam Scatterbo has also been really good, and Quinshon Judkins. Now, if I had the choice between paying more for Omari Hampton or paying a little bit less for Quinshon, that's a discussion to have. You wouldn't feel bad about having either of them because Quinshon Judkins, as far as the tape goes, Fizz, watching the guy, there ain't no one that's been more impressive than Quinshon Judkins.
For sure.
But if you don't want to deal with having a Cleveland Brown on your team, unless you think he's going to be the next Nick Chubb, which he could very well be, Omari Hampton is in a better situation, and he does get the pass catching. So as far as the RBs, I'd be willing to pay up for Omari Hampton. I'd be willing to pay for Cam Scatterbo. I'd be willing to pay for Quinshon Judkins. And I would also willing to be paying for Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt, Fizz. Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt is probably the sneakiest buy of all the rookies, RBs. Woody Marks has popped a little bit. So has RJ Harvey, but we haven't seen enough from them. They're both in tough situations. Tootin and Dylan Sampson. those are backups that I want on my team, Fizz, that aren't going to cost you a lot, especially if you're a rebuilder. And then Travion Henderson, I still want for everything we said earlier.
All right. Well, hopefully Governor hooks you up with that one. But I would say Mario Hampton will be my key one. Those other guys gonna cost you an arm and leg, man. Hopefully Hampton doesn't cost you too much because he's injured. Appreciate your question though, brother. And Rock, I don't know if you heard it earlier. We'll get the last two questions. The Cowboys apparently called the Raiders for Max Crosby.
There you go.
Remember me and you talked about that this morning about the Max Crosby to the Cowboys. And breaking news: the Raiders told Max Crosby, delete your list. We're not trading you. So the Raiders have already let him know it ain't happening, brother. Go celebrate on your own time, but it ain't happening this time. So we had just talked about the Cowboys trading for Max Crosby this morning, and word was that the Cowboys actually made the call, but the Raiders just told him we good. Scratch your list off. It ain't happening. So I wanted to bring that up, bro. Speaking of trades, I wanted to bring that up.
He's their version of what's his face, Myles Garrett out in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Or Hendrickson out in Cincinnati.
He's the Micah Parsons, even though Parsons got moved. He's that for the Raiders. So I'm with you.
One of the best defensive ends in the NFL. He's arguably a top 3 to 5 defensive player in the NFL. Probably a top 10 overall player, Fizz. So yeah, you can't move off of him no matter how bad things get. Even with the Titans had their price, Fizz. They're like, all right, yeah, you can have everyone except Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons. That's it. So
everybody else is, and they cut our guy
Tyler Lockett.
They unlocked.
Man, that guy, all he did was fall on a ball for a touchdown. That's all he's done off season.
Somebody had to pick the lock one of these days, and they did it, baby. All right. But shout out my boy Govnick, man. We appreciate you always, brother. We definitely trying to do what we got to do for y'all, man. Life is kicking me in the ass right now, but I'm here to kick it with the people. So I appreciate y'all tapping in. Let's get at Patty Mills because he seems to always be in these 16, 17, 18 team leagues, brother. My boy Patty does not play regular fantasy football whatsoever.
No, he likes it extra hard for himself.
Hold on, extra hard. Hold up, brother. What the hell you got going on here? Okay, all right. We don't like nothing extra hard, okay? But Patty, man, we appreciate you anyway. Let's just say you like your difficulty on level hard, you know? Let's see what we got though. 14 teams, super flex, start 9. What elite player would you target with Dart as your QB3?
So the way I interpret this, Fizz, is that he's asking, could I trade Dart and what would I get for it?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So basically, he didn't give us what he had, but if Dart is his QB3, he got 2 elite QBs. Dart is the third one. Try and look for him for probably a running back or receiver or maybe a Tyler Warren, which I don't know if he can get. But yeah, who would you move Dart for at another position?
Let's see.
Help my boy Patty out, man.
The Dart has moved up quite a bit. He's now the QB 13. Fizz.
I was going to say it because remember he was in front of that. He got moved in front of a whole bunch of guys, bro, before he had these big games. I'll say this, man. I'm gonna bring a name up. I'm not sure if you can do it straight up right now, currently, Rock. But what does Smitty cost you with Dart?
Oh no, I'd go higher than that. This is where he's at right now, Fizz. So okay. you would be able to get Smitty plus easily for that.
Okay.
This is where he's at. He is the 43rd overall player. He is ahead of Ladd McConkey, Fizz.
Oh no. Sheesh.
So if you could trade him straight up for Ladd McConkey, that is a consideration. He is behind. Here are some of the guys that if I was rebuilding Fizz, I would go for. Would you be willing to do him straight up for Nico Collins with Nico Collins' situation?
So I was going to ask you this. I'm glad you brought that up because I don't sound crazy saying this. I was going to say Drake London. Will you start there?
And you want to be able to get him today for Drake London? At the end of the year, you could, because I think Jackson Dart's going to continue to play very, very well. I think he's going to definitely be in the 2 first conversation by the end of the year. I think Drake London is already in the 2 first conversation. And unless he's on a rebuilding team that doesn't have a QB, you're not going to be able to get him. Because, so that would be the only thing.
You know what I was thinking about? Because remember during the summer, Nico, Brian Thomas Jr., all those guys were going over Drake London. I mean, I was kind of reaching for Drake London in most of our drafts, but I didn't realize Drake had jumped up so high over a Nico Collins. Because when you brought up Nico, I kind of thought of that range. So, but I can see it because those guys haven't really done much, but with London. So, but you thinking somewhere in that range though, if you're talking receivers.
Roma Dunze is wide receiver 10. Pedro McMillan.
You get me wrong for Dart. We got a deal, baby. Handshake on that one for sure.
Yeah, Tedero is wide receiver 11. Right after him, London's right ahead of them at wide receiver 9, and then you got your Amarian Hamptons and your Ashton Genties and Amika Abukas. So I would just hold on to him until the end of the year. I think he's only going to go up in price, and yeah, I would just bank on, hey, I think he's going to be worth 2 firsts by the end of the year. Then I'll be in the conversation. The only thing I will say is that if you are a rebuilder, especially if you're trading away, depending on what your other wide receiver room is, your RB room, all that stuff, if you're a rebuilder, Fizz, I still believe in the depth process. I do not like putting all my eggs into one basket. You're trading one possible elite player. We don't know what Dart's going to be in the next 2 years. He could be in the top 10 QBs. Do not trade one elite player just for another elite player. If you're rebuilding, if you're contending, yes, do that. You want to still stay in the race. If you're rebuilding, well, then maybe you want to trade him for 2 or 3 assets to continue to build up your depth and then make a push in a year or 2. So that's what I would say as far as how to handle Dart.
I'm with you, bro. But like I said, I mean, Smitty's hot right now, baby. If I can get Smitty in a plus, I'm gonna reach for that. But if not,
yeah,
I think I would definitely start from the Drake London realm just to try my hand and then move on down from there. But
the only thing with Devontae Smith is that he's always going to be viewed as better T. Higgins, Fizz. He's always going to be viewed as a wide receiver 2, and you have to consider that market sentiment, his popularity. We are popular, but he's like, or as far as like his view of Devontae Smith, we like him a lot. He's popular to us. But that's not necessarily what moves people in dynasty football and the trade market. It's not always just like, oh, he's got a heart of gold. You know, he's number 1 in our hearts. Some people don't give a shit about that, especially when they go into KTC. They're like, oh, what is he worth? Oh, he's only worth fucking a first or something like that, you know? So,
nah, I'm with you. I mean, I just recently traded for Smitty, man, and I'm in a 3-point tight end premium. And I traded Dallas Goedert, who's been putting up 40 points a game with his games. Dallas Goedert, Jaden Higgins for Devonta Smith straight up.
Holy shit. And Jaden Higgins too? You really, really love Devontae Smith. Hey, holy shit.
Smitty outscored both of them this week, baby. We're going to keep it going. You feel me? So
there we go.
And that was last week. That was last week. So let's keep it going, baby. We got we gonna rapid fire these. We did say we was gonna do an hour, but we got the people questioning. We ain't mad at y'all. We gonna hook you up best we can. So Jake Ferguson for a second plus, Rock. Where we at with it?
Oh shit.
Well, I say this: tight end premium will have to be for me. Number 1. Number 2, man. People hated us for talking Jake Ferguson on the off season. People said he's Jake Ferguson. Why are you talking about him? They don't remember that Dak Prescott is the quarterback. It ain't about Jake Ferguson. One thing I learned about Dak, anybody can play the receiver position. He gonna make sure you're good to go. Jake Ferguson is locked in as his guy. He's already signed a contract, and they are 1 and 2 together when it comes to the receiver and quarterback and tight end position, looking at each other on the field. If it ain't CeeDee Lamb, now with George Pickens, it's going to be Jake Ferguson every single week. I think going forward, the rankings are definitely going to change over the summer. You're going to have to start putting some respect on Jake Ferguson's name, Rock. I believe he's tight end 1 currently in points. If I'm maybe Tyler Warren is up there. I could be lying, Rock. I didn't even check before I did that. Okay. Sure. I think it is Jake Ferguson. Tyler Warren had big games too, but I want to say it's Fergie, man.
It is. And it's actually Jake Ferguson is number 1 and PPR, 120 points. Trey McBride has 113, right, and then Tyler Warren has 101. He's 19 points ahead of Tyler Warren.
So, yeah, I just say this to say a second plus. What would be
2
the plus?
seconds,
I'm
Fizz.
definitely willing.
2 seconds, Fizz. He's right behind George Kittle. He's right behind George Kittle.
Okay,
George
I was gonna
Kittle
say,
is
in the tight end premium for 2
first.
seconds, I can do
Yeah.
that. I can do that. I can do that, big dog.
Yeah, and at his age, it's just like, unless I have a first fit, if I'm a contender and have him, I'm probably not going to trade him away.
I'm
If
not.
I'm a rebuilder, I want 2 seconds and maybe a small
And-
little plus.
And I say this, Rock, that defense ain't gonna get good no time soon, and Dak Prescott ain't going nowhere no time soon. So 2 seconds is worth the price, brother.
I do have to shout out though. So I am in a redraft league, Fizz, and there was some discussion before we came on live. I was a little bit irate, a little bit fired up because of this discussion. You know how sometimes those sleeper chats can just do that to you. One of my guys, I've been doing fantasy football with him for years now. He's a friend of mine. I've smoked many cigars, had a lot of whiskey with him. This guy in a keeper league, this is redraft, but it's keeper. He traded away his second round draft pick in next year. So this year we had Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson go in the second. He traded a second for Jake Ferguson.
That's it.
A second startup draft pick, Fizz.
Oh,
and he
startup.
he was saying, I would rather have Jake Ferguson over Justin Jefferson because he's outscored him so far this year. And I was like, holy shit, I need to ask the people. I need to ask the audience. I need to ask my co-host Fizz, would you rather have Justin Jefferson over Jake Ferguson? And then he went on to say that CeeDee Lamb is washed. So this is the type of shit that I have to deal with all the damn time.
Right now. I asked him, does he eat gyros or do he eat lamb chops, baby? I don't know what he got going on over there. He eating tuna crackers right now because he don't know what the hell he talking about, man. I will say put some respect on Ferguson's name, but I damn sure ain't talking about him over Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb, man. He's lost his mind, brother. All right.
And then he said that only my parents watch this stream, and I said, joke's on you, my parents hate me. They don't watch this show whatsoever. You can't get at me. There ain't nothing to hurt me, Fizz. I ain't got no more feelings no more. So I don't care about any of that stuff.
Tell them even bums get invited to the kitchen, baby. We give out plates in the back door. All right, come through the back door, big dog. We got you covered, man. It's all good.
But just shout out to those guys. It is fun being able to draft with them. So it's all love. So they're all Browns fans and all Bengals fans. So
well, they don't know what they're talking about.
They got nothing else in life.
There we go. We appreciate.
They got Joe Flacco and Joe Burrow, and that's it.
We appreciate it anyway, man. Let's run through these questions, Rock, and I think.
All right, are we panicked on Jaden Daniels? No.
Somebody just asked me. My man Brian just texted me. Brian. Oh, maybe this is Brian. Okay, he just texted me, man. I'll make sure now. He just texted me that was me. I don't know. You two to mess up these names, but shout out my man. He just came through and texted me, said that was me in the chat. So shout out my dog for the question. I want to say that was you. I don't know who because these damn names messed up.
We're so lost right now.
I know,
don't know
Rob,
what the hell you're talking about.
We about to end it in 1 second, baby. We supposed to get up out of here 20 minutes ago. But I want to shout out my people anytime I get a chance to. But Rob, let's run through these questions, man, because the Jake Ferguson one we just got, and we got a 14 tamer, and
I already asked that. We could have been done by the show by now. Are you panicked on Jaden Daniels or not? No.
Oh, my bad, big dog. Honestly, no. I'm buying on Jaden Daniels if I'm available. But this is why I said during the summer, and I remember Mike called me out when I said this is why I'm not taking Jaden Daniels 101. I'm still taking Lamar. And even though Lamar hasn't done anything much more better, don't get me wrong. But
make sure you say his name in the mirror 3 times tonight.
I just think, me personally, bro, when I look at what's going on, this is the Jaden Daniels and the Commanders team that I believe was last year. Last year was just that spark that they needed. Now reality is set. And he's still a top-tier quarterback. I'm not questioning him as the QB. I just think things around him aren't going to be as perfect as they were in year one. And it might take a year or two to get them back perfect with a new offensive line, maybe some more weapons. Terry McLaurin hasn't played yet. Deebo Samuels is now hurt. And both of those guys aren't, spring chickens either. Jack Ertz, 30-some years old. So I just think the Jaden Daniels breakout rookie season that we saw, he's going to get back to that. I don't question that at all. I just think you got to give it a year and a half. And I already told you before, Rock, they aren't making the playoffs. It looks like your boy might be right. I just suspected a step back regardless, but I'm not panicking on Daniels. I'm looking for somebody that's panicking so I can say, yeah, man, he ain't that good, man. That mumbo sauce over there in DC ain't really all that. And his mama probably running his account. I'm throwing anything I need to do to say Jaden Daniels ain't working out, and I'm going to buy him. But I'm not panicking at all, guys. I just wasn't taking them at the 101 anyway, because I'm still trusting guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson because they've proven it time and time again. I'm not taking Jaden Daniels rookie of the year over 2 MVP guys. Sorry, Rock. Can't do
it. Yeah. Jaden Daniels, he has everything that you want in a QB, especially in Dynasty. He's young. He has elite passing upside fizz and elite rushing. He's literally the closest thing that we are going to see maybe for years to Lamar Jackson as far as what he can do.
100%.
And he's not even half as good as Lamar when it comes to his legs, but still, he's still like a huge weapon when it comes to what he can do on the ground.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm not panicked on him whatsoever. He is the type of guy that I believe in. We talk about guys that we believe in, Fizz, that we have faith in. We don't have faith in guys like Kyler Murray, T-Law, Tua. We don't have to keep bringing up their names because it doesn't seem like they keep progressing. Jaden Daniels, I have belief in that he will continually try to get better. That he is one of those guys that no matter how terrible the situation is, he's going to always have a smile on his face. And people might be like, who gives a shit about that? I care about that, Fizz. I do. Because it tells me what type of mentality that he has. And those are the types of guys that I want to put stock in. So absolutely not. There are other guys I'd be far more panicked on, Fizz, that are in other situations than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels 100%. There's like 30 other QBs I'd be more panicked on before I ever get panicked on with him.
That's it, Rock. And we're going to get to one more question because I got to get to this damn homework. And it's getting late, big dog. But shout out to J-Day, man. J-Day all day, baby. That's my dog right there. He's got the wrong damn colors on, man. But let's hook up Reed, man. Let's get up out of here, baby. So, Reed, Dynasty, 1 QB, PPR, 26 late first, and a 27 mid first for Lamar. Is that too much in a 1 QB?
It depends because I have 1 QB league, one QB league, Fizz. It's my first Dynasty league. I traded last year straight up Patrick Mahomes for Lamar Jackson. And it felt good at the beginning part of the season. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the best teams. I'm first in scoring right now. I have been the last 2 years. This is the type of move that you make when you are going to be contending either this year or for sure you're going to be contending next year. You're going to be top 2 or 3 in scoring. Otherwise, I would build up the rest of my team, Fizz, before I make that run for the elite QB. Because yes, it is a lot. That is what I would be willing to pay for the best QB in fantasy football, and Lamar is. So I don't think it's too much, but I would just, if he's able to answer those other questions that I talked about with his scoring, where his roster is at, that's where I would ask him first before trading those picks away.
And I'm with you, 1 QB. That is a good question because it's a 1 QB. So you want to make sure you don't overpay for the position. But I'll just say, man, it's never an overpay when you're getting the best of the best, baby. So if you can live with, these 2 rookies might work out, but Lamar Jackson going to give me exactly what I need for the next 5 years and going, hey, man, live with that decision. I don't think you can never overpay when it comes to the best. So it's not an overpay in my book. I would just hope that you don't already have Justin Herbert or Baker Mayfield already on your team. You know what I'm saying? If you got a Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert type guy, you don't need to upgrade to a Lamar because now you got 30 points on your bench every week. So I would just say I'm making this move if I have a guy that's giving me inconsistent plays every week and I'll feel comfortable at the QB position. So,
yeah. And the other thing to take into consideration too is look at who is in what situation as far as your league mates go in your dynasty leagues. So look at who is at the bottom. See if you are a contender, which veterans you can be training for that you want to get off of their team. And then vice versa. You look at the contenders or the people in the middle, you see what assets that you can get away from them at a discount, Fizz. It's always about trying to find the best deal. You don't always go for the best player. Sometimes you go for the best deal.
Yeah.
And that's why I like being in 8 to 10 different dynasty leagues, Fizz, and they all look very different from one another. I have a lot of my guys on each of the rosters, but the number one thing that people should be doing is not just going for the best players, they should go for the best deals. Because those will always compound in interest and always work out for your favor. Players, they get hurt. But the deals that you make and what you can do for building now and building for the future, that will always work out.
There we go, baby. Well, we're going to end it like that. Rock, I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate the people coming through. And I'll be remiss if I didn't remind people, man, that Sunday, we got that Halloween stream. Hey, Rock, man, ATM hit me up early. He said, hey, bro, my ears perked up when you said 100,000, 100K giveaway. I was like, oh, what the hell going on? So 100K giveaway, baby. Minus 99.
Minus 99.
There we go. 1K giveaway, man. We got the South Harmon gear, pair of Jordans, couple pairs, Amari Hampton jersey, Chris Godwin jersey, shorts, duffel bags, all the good stuff my man ATM put together. Jordan brands with the South Harmon logos on them, man. It's looking good. We know we feeling good. And the only way to play good, you got to stay good, baby. So make sure you tapped in Sunday, 7 p.m., right before the kickoff of the night game. At the end of the 4 o'clock game, if you on Eastern time. And hey, man, Dynasty channel won't be on this channel, be on the original Dynasty channel. And the promo video, we're going to play that as we leave out. And we appreciate all this, man. This is the rebuild one. Next week, we're going to do these contenders. And then my boy Rock is going into the bag, baby, with the positions. Running back, tight end, receiver, QB. Let's win these championships, baby, because everything that glitters is gold, man. So, Rock, close us out, big dog.
I appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Love you. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and I said subscribe. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, baby, and don't forget 100K giveaway minus 99K, baby. We out of here.
Finally, breaking ground on the new South Harmon Stadium. We're glad you're here today.
All of those who doubted me, you see like nothing. Today, it is the day you bow. A book has time to shine.
They're at our doorstep. They're gonna break in. We've gotta go now.
I'm getting spooky tonight. Hey.
Run, 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 run.
Window round the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, we all fall.